Peace and love, family. We got the mic, on the little gimbal, and it's a beautiful day here at Templetown Lake. Another Saturday, and where we got done with some yoga, and I just wanted to come here and just empty out anything that is on my heart, to the people. I'm truly grateful, truly blessed for everybody that has been scheduling calls, and getting in tune with the information and the movement that we have and, that we've been making. I'm very grateful for all of the results, for all of the action that's being taken, within the Discord. So if you guys are not in the public Discord, I highly advise, it's free, that you guys all get in tune with this information within the Discord. You guys all, get in collaboration with everybody in there as well too. There's a lot of people giving out a lot of information as well too outside of me, and I got my mentees from my personal mentorship within the public chat as well too, and where they're giving out tons of information as well too on upon the processes in which we're covering within the mentorship. They're helping people in the public chat as well too get these things and processes done. So super blessed, super grateful for the community in which we are creating here within YBC. And for those that are just getting in tune with the movement, the goal is to empower, enrich, and educate a billion lives. And so, as I always say, alone I can go fast. Each one of you guys can go fast, but together we can go a lot further. And that's what we're building here, is a team, of individuals that are getting hip and understanding, our rights as consumers. And so I'm gonna break down on today's call the differences between credit repair, because yes, there is a lot of credit repair companies out there, versus, our company specifically, but companies out there that use consumer law. And so a little backdrop and backstory upon, how I got into consumer law and credit as a whole. And so when it comes to credit, backstory upon me, back in 2019, I was a part of a network marketing company, and where I learned a lot about business, and I was super grateful for the experience. I actually built up my organization to having over 400 active customers, and where I was just 50 customers shy of having, and reaching the six-figure income within that company. And so that was my first ever business venture. I didn't know anything about business prior to that. Growing up, I always played sports, as I've mentioned as well too multiple times. You guys all can go Google me, and I highly advise that you guys do, so you guys know who you guys are learning from. And that everything that I've ever done has always been, very credible, to say the least. But Antonio Cuevas, football you can look up, basketball you can look up. When you look up football, you can look up Antonio Cuevas, University of Mary, etc. I played college football back in 2018 to 2019. And then when I came back, and to transfer schools, I was training out in Arizona, one of the top gyms out here called Elite U. If you guys follow me on Instagram and stuff as well too, all of my social media platforms are Credit Gotti. But you guys will see that I'm still back, and I've been recently getting back into the gym, and I've been working back out at Elite U, and where it all really originated, in terms of, me blowing up in the sports realm. So everything I've done, to say the least, I've always, put full forth effort, and I've always excelled within it, to say the least. Um, and y'all can go look up and go look up my resume above all else. Um, and I say this humbly, truthfully. I'm not here to, no. But humbly, everything I've done, I've excelled in, and, so when I got into network marketing, like I said, excelled in that. Didn't know anything. I couldn't even tell my story to you guys, to anybody, in front of one person, my mentor. She's like, okay, explain your story, and I was like, my story? I didn't even know how to explain my story. And one day we're gonna get into that. One day we will, give a whole insight upon, the story and the journey of how we got here as a whole. But a quick backdrop upon this. Um, Let's see, family. I know the live is buffering probably and stuff. Let me know. Drop a 1 in the chat if we're good. Drop a 1 in the chat if we're good. Drop a 1 in the chat if we're good. If you guys could hear me clear. No sound. Y'all are kidding, right? No sound? Can you hear me? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. So y'all can't hear me. Can you drop a 3 if you can hear me? If you can hear me, drop a 3. I'm getting no sound and then dropped a 1. Okay. Yes, because somebody was calling me. Drop a 3 though if y'all can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Perfect. Appreciate y'all. And so, quick backdrop, 2019, got into entrepreneurship, built out an organization of over 400 customers once again, and that's what led me, and I was guided into learning about Bob Proctor and all of his teachings. Bob Proctor was actually part of the network marketing company, which I was a part of as well. He had partnered with them in terms of mindset mastery and whatnot, and it was also a trading platform, and where I'm grateful to learn how to trade from that as well too, and where I've continued and do so every single week as well too. And something that I'm even offering for free in the Discord, 1 call a week for everybody in the public Discord to come trade live with me as well too. And so above all else, that's what got me into entrepreneurship. And in 2020 during the pandemic, my network marketing company had a big hit as well too. A lot of people, well, actually it was going amazing during COVID, and then after COVID, once everything started to open back up, that's when my network marketing company started to have a big retracement. The company, lost a lot of customers, etc. A lot of network marketing companies were at the time, and so I didn't know what to do, honestly. I was going from making $5,000 a month to making $1,000 a month, and the organization I was a part of, it didn't really align with me in terms of my mentors and whom I was learning from at the time. They were very money motivated, and I was more so, really diving into my spirituality, and there was a mentor as well too within the same company, a top income earner. He was at the time making $250,000 a month, and he's somebody I always had at the time looked up to and wanted to learn from in terms of business. And so he was also very spiritual, and whatnot. But so I wanted to learn from him. I wanted to partner with him, as that was something that aligned with me more. And so I ended up leaving my organization, and where I had about 150 customers, but they were only on like 2 legs. You had to build out 3 legs to, meet a certain requirement to be earning a certain amount of income. And so I was making about $1,000 a month. I'd gotten a crib, at the time a 3-story crib where I moved in with a lot of my leaders. Really upped my expenses, which is something I don't recommend. Yeah, Bob Proctor is a legend, a legend, not just cool. He changed everything for me. Bob Proctor is a legend. If you could, his teachings are very simple, but if you could fully reprogram, your subconscious to his teachings, it'll change everything. And so, I remember him speaking in Dallas, and I looked at my mentor and I was like, yo, thank you. You changed everything for me and my future generations, like truly. And it truly did. And, it got me and led me into learning from Billy Carson, to then meeting in person with Billy Carson and learning from Billy Carson live in person. And, anytime I'm out in Miami, I can meet up with him, and a whole lot of different things and connections and, just information that it led me to. And so going plant-based, and I left my organization, so I lost my whole income. And at the time I was like, okay, I'd seen Bandman Kevo, on YouTube, and, he was blown up on Tube, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check out his OnlyFans. And seeing he was dropping a lot of different things in terms of leveraging credit, etc., to get into, and the things in which he teaches are more so in terms of deleting stuff with the 609 letters, the goodwill letters. That's more of the credit repair stuff. I don't teach none of that. Y'all never will hear me talk about a 609 letter, a goodwill letter. But the thing is, within these 609 letters, they do briefly throw in maybe 1 to 2, codes within the FCRA, but they don't really break down. And a lot of them are all templates. And what a lot of people don't understand is that these consumer reporting agencies are simply using an e-Oscar system. And so when you guys do use templates, they're scanning them and they're already putting them on a red flag and high alert because, once again, they got an e-Oscar system that will scan everything. And if you guys are using the same letters as everybody else, they're gonna see that and they're gonna red flag it, and it's probably gonna go into, something where you'll get as, a third party, company we see is working on your report, and they'll talk about how credit repair companies, are not, that you don't need a credit repair company, that you can work on your own credit, etc. I done seen all of that prior to me getting first started into the credit repair space as a whole. And a lot of times that's simply because they didn't even actually read them, but they just had the e-Oscar system actually go through and read your guys' letters. And so that's why it's vital always, as I mentioned, for starters, to write down all of the findings of all of the violations, even if you just use the FCRA, even if you guys are just familiar with the FCRA, which is 15 USC 1681, the start of it, right? And through there's 3 things in which you guys can hold them civilly and criminally liable. 1681N, which will show you guys how you guys can get, up to $1,000 per any violation on you guys' consumer report. 1681Q and 1681O, and that's for them willfully and knowingly violating your guys' rights as consumers. You guys can actually hold them criminally liable or civilly liable as well too, or fine them up to $5,000, or they can be in prison for 1 year to 2 years. And this isn't what I'm saying, but this is what federal law is saying within the FCRA. And the thing within the FCRA, separate from the other subchapters, is that the FCRA is a statement of purpose. So if you notice how, and look at truth in lending, which is 15 USC 1601, it'll be a declaration of purpose. And same thing with the FDCPA, which is 15 USC 1692. And that's a declaration of purpose. A declaration is factual. There's evidence, before the declaration was, passed and everything, and the truth in lending was passed in 1968. Before all of that was passed, they had to have facts and evidence. So the difference between the FCRA compared to these other subchapters is that it's a statement of purpose. And the reasoning why is because Congress is leaving it up to you, the consumer, to define what is factual and, and find the evidence as a whole within the FCRA. Because the banking system is dependent upon, remember what it means to be dependent upon something. If you don't understand, go check out a couple of the past videos we've done. I did a video the other day, Mastering Consumer Law, and, the basic steps that we all must understand. And when it comes to understanding that something that is dependent upon something means it cannot live without it. So the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. And unfair credit reporting undermines the public confidence. And the reason why it's so essential for us to have confidence within this banking system is because we keep this whole banking system flowing. Without us and without our credit, all these gnats out here, without us and our credit, there is no banking system. And gnats are disgusting. Oh, and so family, we must first and foremost understand the FCRA. That's all you guys need to get anything removed from a consumer report. And so the difference between credit repair is they're gonna give you these templates. What I want you guys to do is write down the findings. I want you to write down your story, because through the consumer credit transaction, none of these corporations were even present. None of them were present. You guys can also use ChatGPT to help you draft up, your guys' story and the facts and the findings in which you guys have found through your guys' consumer report. That's why it's vital, though, to draft up all of the findings, to draft up your story specifically, And with ChatGPT, make sure it doesn't sound robotic. Make sure it does sound like it's coming from a natural person and not an organization. Because any one of you guys have the ability. That's why these rights have been passed by Congress since the late 60s, for you guys to exercise them, to get certain things removed from your guys' consumer report. Because if we look at the exclusion section as well too within the FCRA, we understand any transaction or experience should be excluded from a consumer report. A lot of you guys have medical bills on your consumer report. Medical bills are very simple to get removed as well too, using the FCRA. A lot of credit repair companies will mention HIPAA, and how it's a HIPAA violation. Simply go through the FCRA's, findings, the FCRA's definition section, 1681A, go to number 3, and you'll see how medical bills are restricted as well too from one's consumer report. And so, yet they're still furnishing individuals, medical bills on their consumer report. And so, above all else, family, make sure you guys are going out and understanding the teachings in which I'm teaching. If not, hop into the Discord. And there's 3 main subchapters. I'm going to call this the big 3 subchapters, in which all of you guys ought to get familiar with, and that's Truth in Lending, the FCRA, and the FDCPA. So if you guys are specifically handling the consumer report agencies, and a lot of these credit repair companies will call them, bureaus. Nowhere in any of these subchapters in which I define will Congress ever define the bureau as Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's Billionaires Club LLC. I'll drop the link for you guys briefly after I go into my teachings, so that I'm able to, not have it buffering and stuff, just because I'm on my phone. If I was on my laptop, I'll drop it and everything for you guys. But we're here right now at the lake, getting some beautiful sunlight. Had a great yoga and meditation, this rising, and it's going to be a great weekend. We're about to be out in Kansas City on Monday. We're taking a private jet from, Georgia all the way to Kansas City. It's going to be a beautiful, experience above all else, to see my brother perform, on Monday Night Football, in a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. And we got some money on it, so it's going to be a blessing. Got some vegan protein shake. Y'all know the vibes. We're also about to get up the drone, get some content in it in a second. But before I do this, let's finish out this training. We got about 5 more minutes left, Emma. And so, above all else, okay, certain terminologies that a lot of credit repair companies do use, in which are not correct. So they'll call them a bureau. They'll use a lot of 609 letters, goodwill letters, a whole lot of, they'll freeze the secondary reporting agencies. I don't recommend freezing the secondary reporting agencies at all, but I do recommend you guys requesting a report, from them, so that we can go ahead and clean those reports as well. Because a lot of times, and why they do freeze the secondary reporting agencies, is so that when they're disputing with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they're not able to go find any additional information in which is being furnished from these secondary report agencies. So why block it rather than hold them also liable to getting those removed using the FCRA and the 3 subchapters I've mentioned, the big 3? Why not go through all of these other secondary reporting agencies? And they're not really even, they're just reporting agencies, just like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All of them are simply consumer reporting agencies. And there's over 330 consumer reporting agencies, in which most credit repair companies don't know or won't tell you. And so go on the CFPB, look up a list of consumer reporting agencies, CFPB. You'll see a list of them for anything you could imagine. And so if you guys are having a hard time with employment, go look up, what consumer reporting agencies are furnishing information for employment. If you guys are having a hard time for renting, go look up what consumer reporting agencies are housing and furnishing information, in terms of you guys renting, your rental history. And so understanding that, family, and not freezing them, but requesting a report from them. For instance, I always mention this for a lot of people that are having a hard time, renting out an apartment complex or something. Go through Rent Grow. Go check out your rental history through Rent Grow, GROW, and request that copy. And from that, you guys will see that you guys have information being furnished without your knowledge. If you guys have public records, you know, is the report the file? The report is just a consumer report, aka a credit report. And so that's another thing. A lot of them will call it a credit report. Nowhere does Congress ever define a credit report. Nowhere does Congress ever talk about a credit score. All these terms are make believe and made up to deceive you guys and mislead you guys, when all there is at the end of the day is a consumer report. And what I always talk about is, if we can control the consumer report, we can control the credit score. Because without a consumer report, there is no credit score. But without the credit score, there's still going to be that consumer report. So the most important thing is controlling that consumer report. And how we control that consumer report is with consumer law and all of the teachings that we teach within the mob, that we teach within the Discord, that I go in depth, personally and privately with my personal mentorship, every single Tuesday and Thursday with my mentorship. And that's why I've got the mentorship, is because, a lot of this information is public information. All of this information is public information. But in terms of the way that I break it down, and me being able to break it down to help you guys understand it on a more personal basis, and help you guys specifically with your guys' case and your situation, it's got to be more personal. And so that's why I do have the mentorship, so I can help you guys personally for your whatever you guys are going through. Because yes, I could have a repossession, you could have a repossession, but it can be completely different on how we're attacking it, simply because of how they went about coming to collect the vehicle. And so within the mentorship, it's more personal, more hands-on, and that's just the main difference within it. Outside of that, you do get exclusivity, access to me and my community as well too, and you guys are able to build with my community as well too. Within the Discord, it's just everybody from the YouTube to my past company to everything. My mentees is my private mentees as well too are in there as well. So good mix of a lot of people within there as well. And I'm not fully active in the public chat, but in the private one-on-one mentorship, I'm in there every single day, making sure any questions are being answered. But in terms of the public, I just don't have the time to answer everybody's questions. On top of that, doing the free 10-minute consultation calls, in which I'm doing. Quick public service announcement as well too. For those of you guys that are looking to get a hold of YBC University, it's still on hold right now. Pre-orders will be releasing very soon, but it's officially going to be launched January 1st. So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing as well too this upcoming week some holiday giveaways, and not giveaways, but also I'm going to be doing some holiday holiday discounts, So for the personal mentorship, I'm going to take off $500. So it's typically $2,500 until the end of the year, which is going to go back to $5,000. So, and for the rest of this week, for this whole Thanksgiving week, is going to be $2,000 for my personal credit blueprint, which is where me and my team will work on your personal credit report. And then on top of that, you guys will get added into some consumer law chats, and then some personal credit, chats as well too, some private chats within the Discord. And that one's typically $1,250, but it's going to be on sale for $250, so discounted $250. So from here till next Sunday, it's going to be on sale for $1,000. My mentorship is going to be $2,000, $500 off, which that will give you guys also everything included within the personal credit blueprint, and it will give you guys lifetime access to YBC University. YBC University is a month-to-month payment, and a month-to-month, investment within your guys' self-intuition of $97. I am going to do pre-orders, and pre-orders will probably be about $75 for the pre-orders to get access to it, and so you guys will be able to receive access the week of Christmas for the YBC University. So make sure you guys are definitely staying tuned for all of that, and in tune with all of that information. That was a quick announcement though. But above all else, in terms of The differences with consumer law is simply just exercising what's Congress has passed, and our rights, our God-given rights as a whole. Being a consumer, being a natural person. That's why Congress passed these, over 30 years ago, each one of these subchapters. And so it's for us to understand this information, to go out and apply this information, because silence is admission. So if you guys ever get anything in the mail, don't just throw it under the rug, because it's never just going to go under the rug. Silence is admission. That's you guys admitting and becoming obligated to paying these debts, when the definition of debt itself is an obligation or an alleged obligation. So it's an allegation, right? You got to validate and they got to verify that these debts are your guys's in general. And once you guys get to the bottom of it, you guys will see that no, the debts are not you, the natural person, but it's the organization. And the organization is property of the United States. And then pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 8, all obligations are upon the United States, which this organization, this fictitious entity, which is mirroring you guys, the natural person, on your license, on your birth certificate, on your passports, on everything, it's your name in all caps. That's the fictitious corporate entity, in which many people like to call the strawman, etc. You guys will hear many names out there, but this is an organization in which they're coming to collect these debts. Same thing with taxes. Look on your taxes, it's your name in all caps. That's an organization. Go look up the Dun & Bradstreet number that I've dropped in the Discord as well too. Every state and every corporation as a whole is in all caps. You guys, a natural person, your name is not in all caps. And so, furthermore, never write in cursive. Never put your name in all caps whenever you guys autograph anything. And understand that these are consumer reporting agencies. These are not bureaus. The only bureau is the CFPB. We do not need 609 letters or goodwill letters. All we need to do is write down the findings and the violations within the FCRA, Truth in Lending, and the FDCPA, and then draft and write out the story. What was the story? How were you guys violated? Because only you guys know, because only you guys were present. A corporation can't be present through the transaction. You guys were present through the transaction. You guys can speak. These corporations can't speak, right? And so, let me let this airplane pass. Let me allow you guys to check out the beautiful views that I'm, taking in right now as well too, and something I want all of you guys to take in as well. As a deep breath. When you breathe, all you can do is just be. And that's when we're at, and in our highest state is just being. It's just flowing. I'm looking at the water right now and it's just flowing. It's just flowing. It just is. It's just being. A lot of us are trying to force things. A lot of us are trying to rush things. Understand, this is an over life thing and not an overnight thing, family. This is an over life thing, not an overnight thing. I want you guys to write that down. I want you to affirm it daily. I want you to understand and be patient with the process. Be patient with yourself. Understand you've not been programmed with this information, and there's a reason and why you haven't been programmed for this information properly, family. And so it's our right, though, to understand and go out and get in tune with this information, get in tune with self, get in tune with nature, so that we can get in tune with all that is ours and all that's been ours, but that we've been deceived and misled into believing that it's not ours. Understand, through every transaction, you are the creditor. So how can I owe anything in which I've given in the first place? If I give you something, if I gave you my smoothie, and then you guys then through a contract try to say that I owe you, money from me giving you guys, I gave you guys it, I credited you guys it. Without me, you guys wouldn't have even been able to acquire this. And so that's what this is all about, family. We got to get in tune. A book in which I do recommend you guys all read is The Fruit of or From a Poisonous Tree. That's a great book upon all these teachings as well too. Let me see can we talk a bit about UCC 1-308 so we could have a bit of your perspective on it? We really appreciate the game you give us. Yes, correct. So with UCC 1-308, so for one, I don't really go too much into the UCC Uniform Commercial Codes, more US codes, but in terms of UCC 1-308, I do use this on every and any time I do autograph anything aka sign, but corporations sign things. A natural person will autograph. And so I'm UCC 1-308. It's reserving all of your guys' rights. So it's, in simple terms, is all rights reserved without prejudice. So without prejudice, you guys are reserving your rights. And with these banks, through that, you guys are, once again, just reserving guys' rights. And so that's all that it's doing in essence. I hope that that does make sense and that it's simplified, but you guys could either write it down, write that out, all rights reserved without prejudice, or you guys can simply put UCC 1-308. And so I have a stamping where it's full colon, Antonio, hyphen, my middle name, Nicolas, full colon, Cuevas, period, UCC 1-308. Stamp it, boom, and we're good. And so that's UCC 1-308. It's just all rights reserved without prejudice. And so understand though, and that's what these credit repair companies won't teach you. They're not even familiar with the FCRA, in depth. They're not familiar with truth in lending in depth. And, above all else, these credit repair companies are simply using templates, basic templates that they're using for all of their clients. And they're not using the FTC. They're not using the CFPB. They're not alone. You guys can get anything removed with the CFPB. Y'all don't even gotta go and send out any mail. You guys can get anything removed with the CFPB if you guys properly break down and explain, how you guys have been violated. Explain the rights in which have been infringed upon from these corporations upon you guys. All you guys got to do is be able to elaborate, these codes in which we're covering within the 3 subchapters in which I always cover here on the channel. And so that's the difference between credit repair. We're not freezing no secondary reporting agencies. We're getting a removal from all these reporting agencies. Like I was saying earlier, which I got distracted, LexisNexis furnishes public records. They furnish tickets. So if you guys are looking to get your insurances down, your insurance rates and payments down, go to LexisNexis, clear up your LexisNexis report. Once you guys have gotten things cleared and removed from your consumer report, and you guys can simply use the FCRA as well too to get these things removed. If any of these corporations are attempting to collect any debt, then we use the FDCPA. And understand that any one of these corporations that's attempting to collect a debt is a debt collector themselves. If they've misused your credit, go through the truth in lending, subchapter. And so it's vital that we all get familiar with those 3 subchapters, as those 3 will help you guys get the things in which you guys are looking to get done. And that's really what I had for you guys above all else today. Make sure you guys are, filing and getting familiar with the CFPB. The CFPB will be your best friend. Other methods you guys can use is, once again, the FTC. Only use the FTC for closed accounts. For any closed account collections, charge-offs. If you guys are looking to close an account, use the FTC, but never use it for late payments. For inquiries, the FTC report is golden. Look up 15 USC 1681 C2. It'll talk about the block of information resulting from identity theft. And one of the forms in which it will request is that identity theft report, which that is your FTC report. We got the Droneo, Drone with Tone. Go follow the Drone page on Instagram as well too. A lot of content to be uploaded with the drone as well, family. We're about to get active right now with the drone. But above all else, family, I really feel like today's call was very insightful, especially for my beginners. But go out and request these consumer reports. Don't freeze them. Don't send out no goodwill letters. Don't send out no 609 letters, right? Request these reports and do the same steps that we're doing. So you guys can also file an FTC report for LexisNexis. You guys can also file an FTC report for, oh, no.
Take off.
No. Okay, no. feel me? Yeah. Let's get out of here. Go straight. Alright. Alright, we out of there. Check out the views. Check out the views. I can't see that good. But I'm about to play with my little drone. My little baby. About to get active. But I will see you all very soon. I'm about to go to Kansas City, like I said as well earlier, this Monday for Monday Night Football. So I'm gonna definitely do some lives and stuff. Probably go live on the private jet as well too for you guys. Why not? And so that'll be Monday. And then I'll be flying back Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday, probably go live on the private jet. And then, above all else today, I hope this breaks down and helps you guys understand, the difference between a credit repair company and credit repair as a whole versus, being able to use, consumer law to get anything removed. Because the power is within us all. We all have the ability to do so for self. We don't need any of these other corporations to clean our consumer report. We all are able and capable of doing such. And so it's vital that we all understand, and take the steps necessary to do so. And so that's what I'm here for, is so that we all can be able to clean our consumer reports. And once we all got our consumer reports cleaned up, now together we can go out and invest together. Now together we can go out and leverage the credit system and, get the things that we're looking to get done. And so above all else, family, alone I can go fast as always, but together we can go a lot further. So let's make sure we're taking action upon, everything in which is being taught here on the channel. I'll make a quick video because it's vital, family. It's vital we all. Let me try to get a master shot.
Three, two, one. Three, two,
Check it.
one.
I ain't even doing nothing. Alright, y'all, let me show y'all what we really be on. You dig? Yeah. This video from the snap. Ooh. Alright though, y'all, I'm finna get up on out of here. Let me throw my trash away. One thing I want y'all to do today as well too, if y'all see trash, pick it up. Let's take care of the earth. Let's take care of the environment. It's really sad to see how dirty people are. Y'all see it though. We got the drone with us. I'm about to take in some content. This was a great video, great live, where I feel like a lot of people can get the, understanding and the basic steps that we need to start applying this information. So first things first, some letters you guys can send out to the consumer reporting agencies. Well, the first steps I want y'all to do is draft up an FTC report. Then after you've drafted up an FTC report, draft up a CFPB complaint. With the CFPB complaint is going to be against the consumer reporting agencies for furnishing any false or inaccurate information, right? Because look up the congressional findings of the FCRA. From there, I want you guys to, get a copy of each one of those CFPB complaints, and then have 3 copies for the FTC report as well too. And then I want you guys to send off the complaint for the CFPB, against TransUnion to TransUnion with the FTC report, as well as 2 forms of identification. Within there as well too, I want you guys to have a cover letter. That cover letter, I want you guys to hand write, and I want you guys to, from there, handwrite it, and I want you guys to use about 2 to 3 codes within the FCRA. I also want you guys to cease and desist all illegal activity and forms of communication. From there, I want you guys then to draft up a cease and desist letter for the debt collector or the third party or the AKA creditor, whomever it is in which is attempting to collect this debt. And then from there, after you guys have done that, what I want you guys to go through and go do is write down all of the findings and violations, and then I want you to draft up an affidavit of truth. From there, that's really gonna get y'all on track, and I want y'all to take action upon that above all else. Make sure to comment in the video as well too. Skip the 40, for a step-by-step process, in which we all got to take. Real quick before I head up on out of here, as promised, let me send in the Discord link. So I'm gonna hop up out of here. I may buffer and whatnot, but I'm gonna be right back. Have fun on MNFF. I worked for the NFL. I love football. That's awesome. Enjoy. Yes, Monday Night Football is going to be a movie. My first Monday Night Football game. Okay, I don't know how to comment on my phone for some reason. I don't know why it's not letting me comment, but go to the last video of Mastering Consumer Law, and that will help you guys find the link for what it is in which, for my, that'll help you guys find the link for the Discord. Go to the Mastering Consumer Law video where I have the the green screen in the back, and that'll help you guys in terms of getting what you guys are looking to get done. 40 people just came by on a bike and stuff. I'm like, what are y'all on? What are y'all doing? All right, let me see. I may just leave y'all here while I do my drone stuff. figured y'all like to have some fun with me, so I was like, let me just stay up on here, man. It's a beautiful Saturday. Go out, explore the world, go see the vastness of it, go see the vastness of oneself. You know, what you guys see out in nature is within each and every single one of you guys as well too. You know, our birthright is abundance, so walk in it, live in it. If you guys are in the Discord as well too, you know, I'm gonna be doing a 21 days of abundance meditation with everybody in the Discord as well. And so I'm looking forward to it. You know, and I'm looking forward to just growing with every single one of you guys, family, above all else. And so I'm probably gonna do a call at like, let me think, 7 a.m. Eastern time for the next 21 days with everybody, and where we'll be able to come collectively and do this meditation together collectively and see what happens after these 21 days. Because as I've mentioned, you know, abundance is our birthright, family. Abundance is our birthright. And so walk in it, family, talk in it, and just be this week. Be present, be grateful, be here, be now. There's nowhere else to be but be now. And so I appreciate you all. I affirm and speak life into you all. And I'm excited to hear all the results that are going to continue coming each and every one of you guys' ways. Continue taking your time with all this information. You know, don't rush the process, don't rush greatness. And understand, you know, a bamboo tree takes about 5 years to see any growth. But that 5th year, it sprouts at least like 20 feet up. So this is y'all first year in, a lot of you guys into consumer law. You know, first month in, first day, first week about hearing about consumer law. So give yourself that time, give yourself that space to grow, to nourish, to water, you know, your guys' self, your plants, your garden. And I promise you guys, it'll all flourish before you guys know it. You know, at an extreme rate, I always double check my stuff to make sure I didn't leave nothing. But we Gucci. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm knowing my bets are about to hit. You know, one thing I want in the age in which we're in, a lot of you guys, I want you to ask yourself, you know, let's stop hoping, let's stop believing, and let's start knowing. All right, this is the age in which we're in, the age of Aquarius, is to know. Do you guys believe that your kids love you, or do you believe that you love your mom or dad, or do you know that? So do you believe in God, or do you know God? There's a big difference, family. So let's start knowing, let's start walking in it, and let's start being it, family. Peace, love, and light. It's up to you, family. We out.